This episode of the Modern Rogue Update brought to you by Yes More & Company. Head on over to yesmoreandco.com, sign up and fill your head with awesome stories. Get a chance to be the hero. Most of all, do your holiday shopping on easy mode. Boy, oh boy, was October a big one. I learned so much, including why we don't count 100 seconds in a minute. Who decided that we should count everything with 12s? 12 things in a dozen. 12 12s make a gross. You ever counted a gross? Who would count a gross? Who did that? 5,000 years ago, the Sumerians in present-day southern Iraq figured out that your right and left hands each have 12 interpharyngeal crevices. You got 12 knuckles on each hand. If you use your right hand for the singles digit and the left hand as a tens digit, you could get up to 12 12s or a gross. This is called the sexagesimal counting system, and it has the benefit of being uninterruptible. If you get distracted, you don't forget what number you're on. You look down at your fingers. In fact, you don't even have to look at your fingers. You can feel where you are. And here's the best part. If you take about 1 second to count each of the knuckles in your right hand, and if you use each of the fingers in your left hand to count the tens digits, you end up with 5 times 12 or 60, which is why there are 60 seconds in a minute.
All right, the point is we were using base 12 around the time that we started splitting days into chunks. And chunks is what you might have blown if you thought that the following video is in any way real. It's not gore, it's not real. Please don't report it. This one got demonetized when I found it. It's my favorite October surprise. The original footage from the fake knife hand stab.
I found it! I found it! Guys, I found the original fake knife stab.
All right, so this is the Russian roulette routine I was telling you about called stigmata. What it is, it uses a knife, 4 styrofoam cups, and a turntable. The knife goes in the turntable where it can spin around, and then I cover up the knife with 1 of the styrofoam cups. The remaining 3 spots are also covered up with styrofoam cups, and then I spin it fast enough that nobody can see where it goes. In a live performance, I might obstruct the view of the audience for just a bit so that neither me nor the audience knows where the knife is. And then I make my psychic selection, and if all goes well... Oh! Oh! Ta-da!
I'm serious when I say so many people thought this was real. So many did that it got impeded on ad revenues. That's fine. That's fine. I had to censor it in the version that I posted on Scam Nation.
And if all goes well... Oh! Oh!
Speaking of Scam Nation, we got a very special shout out from our friends over at Vsauce.
Because according to research from McGill University, that's how often people say 3 of clubs when asked to name a card. But we can do worse. By combining McGill's research with Scam School's 10-year project, we can finger the 4 of spades as the most forsaken card.
We're now BFFs with Vsauce. How cool is that? In fact, I was so shamed that I hadn't been doing shorts that I made this one. Thank you, Vsauce. It turns out you can calculate pi by chucking sticks at a table. Challenge goes like this. You got a table with a bunch of lines going across, and you've got sticks, each one cut to be exactly the length in between each of these lines. The proposition is simple. 20 trials, and you need to guess which is going to happen more. Are they going to land in this no man's land, not touching a line, or are they going to land such that they cross one of those lines? Lock in your bet right now. As you drop these, you're going to notice almost 2 out of 3 times they're going to end up crossing instead of non-crossing. This struck me as totally counterintuitive. But then I was even more amazed because the exact ratio isn't 2 out of 3 times that it's going to cross. The actual ratio is 2 out of pi, which means that with enough trials, you can calculate pi to an infinite number of digits. Luckily, computers do that, and the results turn out to be correct. The more times you iterate, the more precise the number gets. So yes, it turns out. No, but seriously, everybody tell Vsauce that I say hi. Brian says hi, but don't make it annoying. Don't be weird about it. Fair? Oh, and speaking of what's weird and or possibly very, very unfair, this blew my mind. Did you know that there are 2 totally separate versions of the book A Clockwork Orange, and that they both have absolutely polar opposite moral takeaways? The original, published in England, ends with a chapter in which Alex makes the decision to take a wife, to have kids, to become the boring old duffers he used to beat up and rob. Anthony Burgess called this version a proper novel in which a character has the opportunity to discover who he really is. he has agency. The version in the USA omitted chapter 21. It just ends with that iconic line, "Oh, I was cured, all right." Burgess called the American version a fable, saying that when characters are set stony and unchangeable, you cease to be a novel. The publisher told Burgess that his version was just too British and that Americans could handle the truth. Without that final chapter, you have a science fiction ghost story about being conditioned by nefarious forces. With that final chapter, you have an affirmation of each individual's free will. This is the first of the original shorts to go totally viral on me, and it led to me having an hour-long philosophical debate with one Andrew Heaton over on his show, Alienating the Audience.
I was so happy when Heaton called. He didn't even call. He sent me a minute-long rant. I should see if I have it. Of how much
it get saved? I'd love that if you got saved. I was infuriated. I wonder if you could get that.
Yeah. Well, here we go.
Okay. Anthony Burgess is a piece of shit. And I say that because the last chapter of his fucking book that he wanted to put in there, it's not nice.
Where you guys at on loops? I love it. I think it's a good magic trick. I tried to do it when I found this little gem out from Rory Sutherland's book, Alchemy. Orchids are the plant kingdom's scam artists. Bees are on the hunt for calories, and they share info on where all the good stuff is. They do a butt wiggling dance, where they indicate the direction of where the flowers are, and the duration of the butt wiggles show how far away they are. So if you're a flower and you want to get pollinated, you better have some good nectar so the gossip hounds will spread the word. Some flowers invest in big petals, others in bright colors, still others in ultraviolet markings that the human eye can't even see. If they do it right, they get bees in the door, and then the bees go home and talk about it, and they got tons of customers, and they get totally pollinated. But not the orchid. Orchids don't give a fuck about their reputation. The bee's orchid does catfishing by smelling like a female bee. The broadleaf hellebore gets the bees drunk so they can't be bothered to visit any other flowers. And the dragon's mouth orchid uses mimicry to get the bees in the door, only to find out there's no nectar at all. Maybe this is why orchids are so rare. All of this is what led Rory Sutherland to write that flowers are just weeds with an ad budget. He also wrote, "Orchids are the plant kingdom's scam artists." Maybe the single smartest move I made this month was asking the folks on the email list. By the way, you should be on the email list. Just get a free giveaway at gimme.scamstuff.com. Far and away, the smartest thing I tried in October was getting you guys to give me all of your best riddles, challenges, and ways to stump people. But it was Viz who hit me up with this incredible riddle that totally got me. Okay, here we go. Brian, Cindy, Dee, and Alex each brought an item to a gift exchange. There's a bag of trail mix, a loaf of banana bread, a bag of roasted nuts, and a box of caramel popcorn. They exchanged a whole bunch of times, and nobody goes home with the same item they originally brought. Brian traded his caramel popcorn with Cindy. Alex received the banana bread, but it did not come directly from Dee. Later, Cindy swapped her item with the person who originally brought the trail mix. Finally, Brian and Alex made an exchange. Cindy did not end up with the banana bread, and Dee did not end up with the trail mix. So the question is, what did Brian end up with? And the answer is Dee's nuts. In fact, it was just after recording that exact challenge that this very real life moment happened.
All right, good video. Good job, me. Now it's just time to grab myself a snack of what the fuck is in my office? How to evict tarantula. Fucking do something, my guy. Now we're moving. It can't jump, can it? Oh, there he goes. Run away, run free, born free. But let's do a born free. Here we go. No, wrong way. Okay, all right. No, okay, yeah, there we go. And you, I was never afraid of you. So this is where we get into the fun challenges, and I really do want you to play along at home. You can skip and just get the answers, but you'll notice I put these little pause to play moments in all of these shorts that you're about to see. If you're up for the challenge, play with a piece of paper or maybe just a notepad thing, or maybe just, you know what, go ahead and open up a comment, and as you go through this, actually play each of these, pausing the video and taking the challenges. And yes, it might get tedious doing them one after another. If you want to skip, you can, but just know that I hand-selected all of these, and I've gone through hundreds of them. 2-point challenge on this one. 1 + 2 + 3 does not equal 4. This is not true, but
moving only one match, you can make it true. And no, I'm not talking about does not equal, and no, you can't mess with anything on this side. Everything from here on over, leave it alone. Moving just one match, make this equation true. Pause to play, 2-point challenge, lock your answer in the comments. Answer's coming. I love how elegantly simple this one is. Yes, 1 plus 2 plus 3 does not equal 4. However, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 does equal 4. Here's an easy 1-point challenge for you. Picture you stand on a scale, and it gets your weight right, but then it keeps oscillating up and down, up and down. It never really sits on your actual weight. Then you decide, oh, it must be my breathing, so you hold your breath. Now you're not even breathing, and you're holding perfectly still, yet it still oscillates. Why? Post your answer in the comments. You got 10 seconds for the real answer. Here we go. The real answer is because even if you're holding your breath, even if you're totally motionless, your heart keeps beating, and all that sloshing around of your blood affects the scale. In fact, at 165 pounds, you're sloshing enough blood around to affect the scale by 1 full ounce. Crazy, right? Ooh, you're not gonna like this one. It's real math. It's really hard. But it's only worth 2 points. You do have to do actual algebra, though. We've got a series here. We've got x minus a, x minus b, x minus c, and on, the whole series. Finally, x minus z, and you have to tell me what is the product. Yes, you can get the answer to this, and you have to explain why. You got 10 seconds. All right, did you get it? Because the answer is 0. I'm gonna make you wait till the next short to find out why, unless you discuss it in the comments. 3-point challenge. Another one of my favorite all-time challenges. We have VII equals I. Even if you speak Roman numerals, you know that's not right. Your challenge is to move exactly one match and make this a true equation. And no does not equal does not count. Nobody is impressed by that. Move just one match and make this true. You know the drill by now. Pause to play, answers in the comment. You got 10 seconds. All right, here we go. You're gonna move just one match and make this true. And no, you're not gonna do does not equal. That doesn't count. One match, and it becomes the square root of 1 equals 1. Totally satisfying, worth a free drink. All right, this one's a 1-point challenge, so every single one of you should be able to get it, but there's a trap that you must not fall for. Imagine you spelled every single number in existence in English in order. And we're talking about the natural set of numbers, no irrationals. If you did this, when's the first time you would encounter the letter A? Pause to play, answers go in the comments. You got 10 seconds. All right, did you get it? Or did you fall for the trap? Because the real answer is 1,000. Some of you might say 101. 101 is not proper. It's 101, just like you wouldn't say 1,001 or 100,002. Right, all right, all right. Today's challenge is a 2-pointer. We're gonna do a little bit of math. You get one line. You put down the pencil, you draw exactly one line, and it better not be a does not equal line. 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 550. Now that is not true. That is not true. And we do not make it right by doing a does not equals. You guys know that that does not win you a free beer. You get to add one line, make this absolutely true. You know the drill. Pause to play. You got 10 seconds. Okay, we good? We good? We're good. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 does not equal 550, but 545 plus 5 does. 3-point challenge on this one. We got a little giraffe. He's on the plains looking off in the distance over at this tree, moving only one match. You need to have the exact same giraffe looking a completely different direction. Right now, he's looking off this way. It's going to be the exact same giraffe looking a different way. Pause to play, put your answer in the comments. This one's worth 3 points. Answer in 10. All right, this one blows my mind, and it's subtle because you see that this half matchstick implies a face looking that way. However, exact same giraffe looking the exact different direction by moving only one match. All right, guys, for this challenge, I'm gonna say a bunch of words. You've gotta add punctuation so that everything makes sense and is grammatically correct. The words are Norman Wall Louise had the teacher's approval. Yes, that's exactly what I meant to say. Yes, you have to pause to play. Yes, follow the instructions. Answers go in the comments. You got 10 seconds. Did you get it? The answer for this one makes more sense if you pictured Norman and Louise in a high school English class. They're arguing about the use of the word had, so the following makes sense. Norman, while Louise had the teacher's approval. Did you get it? Here's another easy 1-point challenge for you. If you started spelling every single number from 1, 2, 3, all the way up to infinity, in all of that number set, there's exactly one number in English where all of the letters appear in alphabetical order. What is it? Pause to play, put your answers in the comment, and put down the time code as well. No cheating on this one. You got 10 seconds before the answer. All right, please tell me you actually paused it and prove it with the time code. No cheatins. Because the one number from 1 to infinity that is all in alphabetical order is 40. Did you get it? Show this bold Prussian that praises slaughter. Slaughter brings rout. That is a weird sentence, but it's also a special one. Figure out what's special about this sentence, put it in the comments, and you get 3 points. If you've already heard of this one, I'll give you 2 just for showing up. Pause to play, answers go in the comments. Answer coming in 10 seconds. This one is special because if you cut off the first letter of every single one of these words, you get a totally different sentence. How this old Russian hat raises laughter, laughter rings out. This one's an odd mix of lipogrammatic and acrostic style wordplay. And now you have 2 words that you get to Google. 1-point challenge on this one. You got a fishy swimming this way. Nice little diamond pattern, bunch of fins off to the side. It's definitely going this way. The challenge is moving only 3 matches, make it swim the exact opposite direction. Only 1 point for this one. Pause to play, put your answer in the comments. Answers coming in 10. Moving only 3, you go 1, 2, 3. The exact same shape, going the exact opposite direction. All right, I'm no wizard of sports, but I know that different shoes go with different sports. You got cleats that go with football. You got spikes that go with baseball or maybe golf. You got tennis shoes, sneakers. You got to wear those to play tennis. There's one type of sport that uses 100% all metal shoes. That's the quiz. Can you figure out which one it is? Pause to play. Answers go in the comments. 10 seconds for the answer. Now, a bunch of you guys are going to say stuff like ice skating or hockey. And yeah, that's a sport, but the problem is the metal's only on the bottom of that shoe. It's not entirely metal. There's one legitimate sport that this is absolutely true, and here's your hint. Even if you don't figure horseshoes is a sport, horse racing definitely is. The letters in the word chesty can be rearranged in English to create only one other word. What is it? You get one subtle clue. Pause to play, answers go in the comments. Did you get the word scythe? I wasn't very subtle on that one, but you must admit, you'll not forget it. A couple of times I also just tried to make you laugh. Salute to you, Dana Carvey. So when I'm doing the straitjacket escape, there's usually a pause and I need a joke, and I don't know any jokes, so I stole this one from Dana Carvey from 25 years ago. Mom and a dad are going around through their 8-year-old son's room looking for naughty stuff, and they discover there on his laptop a hidden directory filled to the brim with hardcore S&M pornography. Hardcore S&M pornography. The kid's only 8 years old. Mom and dad, they're both very, very upset. The mom turns to their dad and says, well, what are we gonna do? And the dad says, well, we can't spank him. Yo, check this out. A single match burns at 600 to 800 degrees Celsius. That's over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. In about 2 to 3 seconds, that flame can cook your flesh. It can cause a second-degree burn. Hold it 10 seconds and you're gonna have white charred flesh and be scarred for life. But if you're a fire eater and you're a professional and you must not try this at home, you can inhale very, very slowly, dissipating all of that heat inside your mouth and create a human jack-o'-lantern. Happy Halloween. 5 interesting things about LA. Los Angeles sits atop the 3rd largest oil field in the entire United States. They used to have oil derricks all over the place, then they got embarrassed, and now they hide them in fake buildings. Everything from fake bell towers to fancy whatever these are. Los Angeles County is bigger than the entire state of Rhode Island. Reno, Nevada is 100 miles west of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is also home to the world's shortest railway, just 298 feet for the Angel's Flight. See, it just goes up that one hill. Finally, the reason the film business moved to Southern California was so they could sneak down to Mexico and avoid paying Edison the patents he was owed for his fancy film equipment. Those are 5 interesting things about LA, and they're the only. Federal Reserve note is 3 words. United States is 2 words. Talon is not a word. This is how to use a dollar bill as a measuring tape. Ooh, oh, I thought that was gonna work. For 3 inches, take a look at the front of the dollar bill where it says Federal Reserve note. That box is exactly 3 inches. No, it's not a micrometer, calm down. On the green side, where it says United States, if you fold it serif to serif, you get 2 inches. Finally, the lower right-hand corner, where it says O-N-E, and there's a talon there. Just remember, talon. And if you take it from the edge of that shield to the edge of the border of the bill, you'll get 1 inch. There was one time where I intended to make a short and ended up making a long. There's a segment of one of my stage shows where we do a memory test, and I don't want to spoil what happens, and you can skip this part if you want to. I really want you to actually try this because it's important that it be a secret what the cool thing is. I want you to try to do this memory experiment to the best of your ability. Because we're about to do a memory test. There's no point in going forward unless you actually commit to trying this. We're gonna test how good your memory is. I'm gonna show you a list of words. I'm gonna show them and read them aloud to you, and then immediately afterward, you're gonna have 90 full seconds to write down as many of the words as you can remember. Yes, I want you to actually do this. Yes, it will be awkward as we sit here for 90 seconds of lounge music and you write stuff down. Yes, the first few words are gonna come very easy to you, and then you're gonna hit a wall. You're gonna be tempted to say, it's just a dumb video. I don't need to do this. No. You keep going and you use the full 90 seconds because the best memory wins. You ready? Here we go. The words are sour, nice, candy, honey, sugar, soda, bitter, chocolate, good, heart, taste, cake, tooth, tart, pie. You got 90 seconds. All right. Pencils down. How did you do? Did you do good? All right. How many of you wish you had a second chance? All right. We're going to grant you your wish. Now remember, the fate of all the world hangs in the balance. All you have to do is remember as many words as you can, and there's only seconds in between you seeing them and hearing them and writing them down. So there's no way you should be forgetting any of this. As many as you can. I want you to report the numbers afterwards. The second set of words are mad, wrath, fear, happy, hate, fight, rage, hatred, temper, mean, fury, calm, ire, emotion, and rage. You got 90 seconds. All right, how did you do? Did better on the second time, right? Take a look at that first list and note how many words you got. And I want you to scan those words and in the comments, note whether you got the word sweet in list number 1. Go ahead and start typing a comment. Sweet on list number 1. Okay? Now look at list number 2 and see if you notice the word anger or angry. If you got either of those 2 words, you have experienced a false memory, because neither of those words were on either of the 2 lists. Did it work? The full video has a whole bunch of explanation about this, but here's the important thing. I'm gonna keep the title on that video very generic, and it's on you to know the secret, to know that you actually get to plant a false memory in somebody else's mind. Next up, a bunch of you guys are asking me what's going on over on the Scam Nation channel. Yes, I'm putting a lot of effort into these 1-minute riddle shorts. What we are doing is posting once per day a brand new, completely 4K, upscaled, beautiful, gorgeous, ad-free version of the content that you've seen on the Monorouge channel. This is a total blast. I'm there live. We're doing a watch party. They usually happen in the morning. I love chatting with you guys. Come on out and join us. And I think that's just about it on the October updates on the YouTube side of things. That new episode, The Hotel Hacking Havoc, is chef's kiss. However, it is a crime against humanity. If you've not seen the entire episode where Brant set up a surprise ARG for me, it was absolutely incredible. You're going to learn a lot and have a good time. That's uncomfortably close to the slogan for Fat Albert. All right, so I'll leave you with this one last short. Every so often, I like to get a little bit misty-eyed, so I found the footage of the very first time my daughter Josie had seen the moon through our telescope, and I just threw it up there, not sure how it would do. You guys wrote some really sweet comments. Look at that freaking moon.
But it's like so far away. How are you getting that?
Is that amazing?
That's not how it works. What? I thought you would only be able to see it just the dot closer, but not the whole thing, you know? It's beautiful.
Wow, that's incredible.
Oh my god. Look at the craters.
And that's it for the Monorouge update for October. We'll see you again soon.